Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds. Thank you for joining me for my weekly What Sold video. Today, I'm going to give a fair warning. It's pretty unimpressive what I sold this week. I sold a couple decent items, but it's definitely unimpressive. It just is what it is. And I took a moment to look back at my previous years, and so this is pretty normal for this time of year for me. And that helped me feel a little bit better, and it's helping keep me motivated. I listed more than I had as my goal for last week. A few $1,000s worth of product, mini listings. And so I'm very happy with the progress I made. And I know that eventually it'll catch up and those things will start selling. Last year, my sales really started to pick up in late July and the previous year as well. So I'm just finding ways to get through until then and just keeping consistent until then. So I thought I'd take a moment before we do the sales, because they're probably not going to take that long to get through, and just take a moment to talk about something that I think everybody is starting to do nowadays, and that's multiple streams of income. And I'm not going to get real into this, guys. I'm not a finance channel. I just am going to talk to you about what I have been adding on to my life as other streams of income, because eventually I want to not work all the time, because I pretty much work all the time. I'm very lucky for what my job gives me, though, that I do have flexibility, but I do work a lot. But I work for myself. So again, always the pros and cons, but I've added different revenue streams as I've gone on through this reselling journey. And I'm finding that even, especially just being an entrepreneur, that having multiple streams of income is just really important. And I'm hoping eventually it'll pay off the things, because I feel right now it partly feels like I am overextending what I'm doing, but I think I'm more finding what makes me happy and what do I enjoy. So right now, I'm just to talk about mine, and I'm talking about mine so that maybe you can think about yours, or maybe you can think about ones that you can add. A lot of times reselling, for people that are watching, or you guys watching, is probably your extra income. So these are just a couple other things that I do. So I started with adding Poshmark and Mercari. So it's still another revenue stream, but it's along the same lines as eBay, but it has diversified so that now if suddenly my eBay just gets shut down, I have other avenues of reselling if I want to continue to do so. So I have Poshmark and Mercari. And then after that, a few months after that, because added that on about a year and a half ago, and that's okay. It's decent. It definitely added income last year. And then after that, a few months later, I added on YouTube. YouTube took me a year to get to where I was making money from it. And right now I'm still not making a ton of money from it, but it is income. And it's something that I can keep adding to my monthly income to increase my take-home pay. And so I added that as well. And now this year, I have added a couple other things and a couple other possibilities. Not quite income yet, but possibilities. So then I started to just put a little bit of money every month into a high interest savings account. That I really enjoy, just because I can still access the money very easily if I really need it, but it can sit there in a high interest savings account. And I also use that to hold the money that I use for my quarterly taxes. So I might as well make a little bit of money off of that before I have to pay it to the government. So I use it for that. And then I also use, you could use there's multiple sites I think, but I use one called Acorns, where I do roundups. And so it rounds up everything in my debit card up to the next dollar of payments and puts it into into the stock market, and it invests it for me depending on the portfolio I chose. And so then I can get kind of dividends from that. That's not real big. I've been doing that for a while though, and it's just nice to have that as a oh no fund, I guess you could say. So I have that I added on, and neither of those are big money, but they're just little things that maybe in the future, as you do compounding, it will hopefully pay off more. And then now I'm adding, the one I'm really excited about is I'm adding on handmade items. and that's going to be on Etsy. So I still haven't made any sales on that, but I'm starting to make some new products, and I'm going to be diversifying here soon in that space. So I'm excited about that. I'm also going to use YouTube again for that and use that to promote the products and hopefully maybe eventually make a little money off of that channel as well. I'm nowhere near that on that channel though. I think I have 9 subscribers. It's pretty impressive. But it's a fun little extra hobby that I haven't made any money from yet, but maybe eventually it could come as a little bit of extra income. So those are some of mine. And if you have any fun ones that you do, share that down in the comments with me, whether you do DoorDash, I've done DoorDash, that kind of thing, or Uber, anything like that. I also do gun shows a couple times a year where I go and work a full weekend for a company and make some extra money doing that. So those are some of mine. I just thought that would be interesting for us to talk about for a minute. Because I think it's really important to have those diversities in your income so that if one ever falls out, you still have something to fall back on to while you get on your feet. And so that being said, again, put down in the comments if you have any fun ones or things that if you just want to share what you do, please put that in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started on the what solds. So I do have a few decent sales in here, but it's a lot of bread and butter, guys, and I'm not showing you all of it, but this is just what the week is, and that's okay. It's much like my May last year, which definitely did make me feel better to see. And let's go ahead and start looking here. This one is Horn of the Hunter, Robert C. Ruark, 1953, the story of an African safari illustrated. I took a best offer of 50 on this, which I think is very fair because the dust jacket is real bad. It's not good looking, it's not pretty, but it has the dust jacket. Even if the dust jacket isn't pretty, guys, your book is always going to be more valuable with it than without it on most things, on anything, I'd say any collectible books, let's put it that way. So I sold this for 50. I picked this up at Goodwill probably a year and a half ago for $2.99. And I found that a lot of the Ruark books, there's a few, do sell for some decent money. Here is some flatware. This is Gala Impulse Oneida Dinner Fork Stainless Flatware. It's a set of 5 of them. Sold for full asking of $23.95. I just picked up this lot. Have about $1 into it or less. This might be my new one where I have maybe 50 cents into this, but 50 cents to $1 into this lot. And it's actually going international. Then these have been listed probably a year. I paid too much for them. They're Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star shoes, men's size 12. They were a very good size, but they're nothing special. I ended up just taking best offer of $20 for these. I think I paid $5 for them, and they took quite a fair amount of time to sell. I like Converse, but they do need to be interesting or just something different, or get them for $1. Then if I paid $1 for these, I'd be a happy little camper. But $5 is a little bit much, but not bad. This is the Rontgen Rays in Medicine and Surgery 1988 Classics of Medicine Library. And this sold for $22.95, the full asking price. And I paid 50 cents for this at a thrift store. This is a pair of Wrangler Slim Fit Cowboy Jeans. They are size 32-33. I got them in an online auction for $2.50. And I've had 3 of these, and the same buyer that bought another pair is actually coming back to buy these ones that were in the same size. So hopefully then they were happy with the last ones they purchased. I just took best offer of $20 and have about $2.50 into them. This is definitely my big sale that just saved me this week. And it's a vintage brass Sleeping Bunny Rabbit shelf book sitter. I just blew my mind when I saw how much this was worth. This is why, guys, you never know. Because I pick up brass because I'm weak and I really like brass. A lot of brass sits and doesn't sell for a ton of money, but it is adorable. So I picked this up for $1 and it sold for $230 on a best offer in a couple days. I could not believe how much these sell for. So if you see this, definitely pick it up, guys. And this wasn't marked in any way. I believe I know what company made it, but I wasn't going to put that in the title if I don't know for sure because I don't want to mislead a buyer. but $230 for this little guy. Then this is a realistic tiger plush best made toys, 21 inches, stuffed animal, 2007, Target, big cat. Sorry, excuse me. I use big cat as a descriptor when I have the room on these tigers, jaguars, lions, etc. I don't know if it helps, but I feel like it maybe brings in a little more traffic with those keywords. And it did sell for the full asking of $19.95. It was only listed for maybe 2 weeks, and I paid about $1 at a yard sale. I've actually sold this same exact bear. This is the 3rd time I've sold this bear. And it's a Sir Andrew the Armor Bearer 10-inch plush Faith Kids Christian, $19.99. And this sold for the full asking of $29.95. I picked it up for $1 at an estate sale roughly about 6 months ago. But I have sold this bear every time I found it, and it's never been more than 6 months. These have been listed at least 2 years. They're real cute. I just think I had them priced too high. And there were 2 vintage brass seals, sea lions, patina, small figurines, decorative collectible. And they, have been listed a fair amount of time. I'm trying to remember where I got these. I wouldn't have paid more than $1 for both of them. So I'm going to put that as what I paid. And they sold for $10.50 on a best offer. This is Clifford the Big Red Dog, Emily Elizabeth 9-inch plush, Nanco 2002 Scholastic C-Pix. I said C-Pix because Nanco, their plush is not known for being great quality. And I just wanted them to look at all the pictures because it just looks cheap. But they do make interesting character plushes, and I've sold multiple plushes for good money in the brand. So I pick it up, but I do like to warn the buyer that the quality is not great. It's not, oh, my necklace fell off just when I wasn't paying attention. Oops. I didn't put it on right. It's just a brand that it's cheaply made, and that just is what it is. So this sold for $12.95. I believe this has been listed for 1.5 years, and I paid $1 at a thrift store. It's small. I don't care that it took that long for this guy. This is Black Rifle Coffee Company t-shirt, coffee or die, men's XL. If you've watched my channel, you know I picked up a stack of these at a yard sale for about $1 a piece. I only have a couple left, but I sold quite a few of them. So I ended up just taking a best offer of $12 on this, since it's been listed for, I think, 6 to 8 months or more. But quarter into it, into 12, I'm fine with that. This is Hans Andersen's Fairy Tales and Wonder Stories Illustrations by Lewis Reed, 1914. Very pretty book. And as I've said in previous videos, pretty books sell, guys. And this I just ended up taking a best offer of $17 again to try to get my store alive. I paid a 50 cents or so at a sale for this. This belt buckle took much longer than I thought it was gonna take. It has so much interest, but no one ever pulled the trigger on it. And I got it in my belt buckle lot probably 8 to 10 months ago. I think it was August of 2023. And it's a sit on it, toilet seat, belt buckle, vintage, funny gag gif, white elephant. I'll use white elephant as a descriptor word sometimes, and gag gift, just because I do think, especially during Christmas time, that can really help you out if you have the space. If you have more important things to say in your title, don't use those, but sometimes those can be useful in your title to have. And because I know I've specifically searched white elephant on sites to look for things. And this sold for best offer of $15, and I had about $1 into it. This sold in a week or so for $9.95. It's a Dimdaco Gray Wolf Husky plush stuffed toy, animal realistic 2011 9-inch with tag. Just picked this up at, I should know. I think I picked this up at a yard sale. Oh, got it. I picked it up at the rummage sale where I got all my silverware. So I have 50 cents, quarter to 50 cents into this guy. This is a Gorham phone handset receiver, silver plate cover, vintage. Sold for a best offer of $8. My mother-in-law and I picked this up at an estate sale, I think a few months ago, for like 50 cents. It's fine. It wasn't that hard to pack. This is Oneida USA Unity Stainless Dinner Forks Flatware Set of 5 replacements. And I do appreciate all you guys telling me you're not tired of flatware in the haul video I did, because I've done it a lot. It's just what I've been finding, and I hope to keep finding it, so I'm gonna probably keep sharing it, my friends. And it's $34.95 that these sold for, $1 into this lot. This is the Living Bible Paraphrased Red Letter Large Print Tyndale 1971. I don't know why it says 2 sold in the last 24 hours. I've sold 1, and I only had 1. But it sold for $21.95, the full asking price, and it's actually going international. I believe I paid $1.99 for this, $1.99 or $2.99, depending at the Goodwill, one or the other, but it sold quickly. This is Abercrombie & Fitch Jeans, Women 3724R Curve Love 90s Slim Straight Ultra High. Sold for a best offer of $24, and I paid $4 for this at a thrift store. I just have 2 more. My cross-listing sales are not impressive, guys. Mercari's trying. It really is. I'm not on track to meet my goal for cross-listing sales this year, but I'm still going to give it a shot until I've done 2 full years of cross-listing, and I'll do a video on that like I did for my 1 year, and then I will reassess then if it's really worth it. But even just a couple thousand extra a year makes all the difference. I mean, when it comes down to bills, it really helps out those bits. And this is going to be a brass easel display stand, art picture tabletop decor vintage, 11-inch by 6-inch. And I've had good luck with these little brass easels. These small ones that fit on like a tabletop. I have sold a couple of them. This one I picked up for $2 at a thrift store, sold for $16 on Mercari. Good thing is I made $16 because they got rid of the seller fees. And then this is Nike On Field San Francisco 49ers jersey, 15 Crabtree, medium, red, white, NFL read. Sold for best offer of $15 on Mercari, and my friend actually gave this to me for free to sell, which was very kind of her. So $15 is what I made on it. And that is all I have to share with you this week, guys. I do have a couple of research videos in the works, so I'm definitely going to be trying to get one of those out this week because I'm very excited to do some more of those here in the coming weeks. So please join me for those, and otherwise I will see you guys on the next video.